Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo, and I just filmed a 38-minute video only to realize that the audio was not working, so I'm refilming right now, so I apologize that I'm late here, but it's worth it because we've got this awesome doubleheader tonight. We got Bucks versus the Lions at 7 o'clock Eastern, and then we've got Seattle versus the Texans 10 o'clock Eastern. So they're not intersecting, so it's going to be a long night of football, and then we got basketball tomorrow. So we need to get wild anyways. I drank a bunch of coffee, so I'm good to just remake the video for you guys. Before I get into everything, if you guys don't mind, do me a favor, like the video, drop me a comment, hype up the video. All that stuff helps a lot. I took the summer off and I'm just like really grinding to get my views back up because YouTube does penalize you when you take some time off. And I had a baby, so I needed a little bit of time away. But yeah, we got basketball tomorrow, so I'm in good spirits here. Let's talk about the Sunday picks real quick. So we went 4 out of the 6 plays that we put out. Bijan Robinson just barely beat his fantasy score, thankfully. 20.5, we took him over. He went for a little over 21. Kendrick Bourne didn't get it done. I was wrong about this, guys. I thought, it just, the script did not go that way. It was all CMC. The return of Kittle played a role, all of that. So I thought for sure he was going to crush that 47.5 receiving yards. I took a bunch of demons and all that stuff, and I was wrong about that play. And then Quinshon Judkins, we crushed this one though, 18.5 longest rush. He went for 46. And then Rico Dowdle, who didn't even get the start, but still ended up getting 18 carries, 19 carries, something like that. 76.5 rushing receiving. He went for 96, just barely missed hitting that 100. Still great outing. Jordan Addison, absolutely dominant. We took him over 6 targets. We talked about it being the safest play. He went for 12. He just was, oh man, I love this because I have him in Dynasty too. And we are going to be paying close attention to Addison moving forward. Hopefully we're not too late because he's been crushing this week after week, and it just still seems like his lines are really low. But it's starting to feel like a 1A, 1B situation out there in Minnesota for Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. So loving it. And then Kamani Vidal, he didn't get it done. I thought he was going to get in the end zone. The Colts are for real, ladies and gentlemen. Like the Colts just did whatever they wanted to the Chargers. And I'm pretty sure in the video when we were talking about the over-under, I think that they had the Chargers favored by 1.5, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, but I remember being surprised, like, really? But yeah, the Colts are for real, and their defense is too. And Vidal just could not get anything going. Their running game in general couldn't get anything going. He went for 7.5. He got like a decent amount of usage, all things considered, but 7.5 fantasy score. Took him over 13. Thought he was getting in the end zone potentially, and I just liked the heavy usage, but turns out, yeah, when he popped off, it really was just the matchup against Miami because the Chargers have a lot to figure out right now. Yeah, 4 hits, 2 misses, but we've got some picks for tonight. 4 picks. I've got 2 QB rushing props I'm really feeling, and 2 wide receivers. So we're going to go Jameson Williams. I like him over 46.5 receiving yards. And then Baker Mayfield, going to take him over 19.5 rushing yards. Jaxon Smith-Njigba over 17.5 fantasy score. And then CJ Stroud over 17.5 rushing yards. So if you guys haven't signed up for Underdog yet, actually before that, code FALL for our premium Discord, 75% off all the way up until October 31st. Just throw it in when you're signing up through Patreon, and you'll get 75% off your first month. And then if it doesn't take you straight to the Discord server, there's a link to the Discord server down below as well. Underdog, use code BACKDOOR. You play $5, you get 100 in bonus funds. And guys, if you haven't tried Streaks, it is so fun because it updates quickly. So yesterday, right after church, I thought I'll put together a streak slip and shared it to the Discord. We took Judkins over his fantasy score. Dude, I think got 3 touchdowns. And then we took Rico Dowdle over his rushing yards, which was pretty low on Underdog. And both of those cashed. Well, with Streaks, if you hit your first 2 plays, that's all you pick is 2 plays. And if it cashes, you add 1 more play and you can stack it up all the way to 11. You can keep being like, next game, who do I want in this game? And it's kind of fun because you're just picking out 1 play. Like, how do I keep this streak going? And so we cashed that. And then we jumped on Jordan Love rushing yards. We cashed that. And then went to Kendrick Bourne. So it's kind of fun. You can stack through the day on a Sunday slate. Try it out. But yeah, Kendrick Bourne ended up crushing it. So I'm going to put together another one for tonight, share that with the Discord. But code BACKDOOR, play $5 to get 100 in bonus funds. Underdog is awesome. Chalkboard, another killer app. Fantasy sports, they cover all sorts of stuff on there. They run specials all the time. And right now, if you use code BACKDOOR, they're going to give you a free pick that is almost guaranteed to cash unless the player just misses the game, in which they'll just, give you another one. But yeah, they give you a free pick to cash your first slip, and then also a 100% deposit match, which is perfect time to take advantage of a nice fat deposit match because we got basketball starting tomorrow. So yeah, go check it out. All that is below. Let's get into the details here. Last but not least, Daily Grind, 25% off when you use code BACKDOOR. The DFS optimizer is awesome. It'll help you cash more often. So over under 53.5 for the first game. Supposed to be fireworks. Two high-powered offenses. And this is going to be a blast. Dan Campbell, shout out Dan Campbell. Dude doesn't get enough love. I know people do love him, but still doesn't get enough love. Everyone said Ben Johnson's leaving. What's their offense going to look like? They've said that over and over. Like, oh, what's their defense going to look like? Is it Adam Glenn who took over the Jets? They don't look good. And Chicago, they look decent. I mean, they're really putting it together. So good for them. But my point is the Lions still look good. No matter who gets replaced, it looks like the Lions. So this should be a fun game. Bucks are similar. They're high-powered offense right now. It doesn't matter who's injured, what's going on. So we're playing in Detroit, 6.5 point spread favoring the Lions. Playing indoors, don't have to worry about weather. And then we got a 41.5 point over under with Texans playing in Seattle. This game is outdoors. It shouldn't be too bad weather-wise. I'll show you guys in just a minute, but relatively low scoring over under is what they're projecting, 41.5. Seattle favored by 3, and that tends to be the case when you've got the Texans involved because they do play at a little bit of a slower pace, and their defense they're solid defense. So let's break down the weather real fast. It's going to be beautiful weather for these players. Low to mid 50s, slight chance of rain, and then steady winds about 3 miles an hour, gusts about 8 miles an hour. So we don't have to worry about it really playing too much of a factor, but it is the weather. So anything, can happen. It can change real quick. But let's start here with Baker Mayfield. Okay. So Baker rushing yards. Remember when we were getting this at like 12.5, 13.5? We were just crushing it. We take this one a lot when it looks good. Well, he's been kind of not running as much lately, but I think he will tonight because this is a perfect climate for him to have to run the ball more. If we look at this is 2025, right? Yeah. So this is Outlier. I love this app. It helps us break things down, takes a look at the details a little deeper. So he came out hot. We were crushing it. 39, 33, 44. But you'll notice some of these that he's really popping off are in close games. So you got 23-20 playing on the road against Atlanta. He goes for 39 rushing yards. And then tough matchup against Houston, ranked 7th, close game. 20-19, he pops off for 33. And then we've got another close game, 29-27. And there was a softer run defense, but he pops off for 44. And then these other games, 31-25, that's still kind of close, but he just hasn't been running the ball as much lately. And then if we take a look at the matchup here, 11th in rushing yards allowed overall. So Detroit is only allowing any rushing attempts to accumulate about 95.5 rushing yards on any given game so far this year. They've been good. When it comes to quarterbacks, they're much softer, 21st, allowing about 22.5 regardless of who the quarterback is. Now, we already talked about the high over under. This game should be fireworks. And I think a lot of times when Baker really gets going, it's when he's in a situation, a lot of times like 2-minute drill, hurry up offense, like he has to get his team. We've seen this how many times this year already where it's like, oh, Baker's putting his helmet back on. He's got to get up the field quick. And in situations like that, a lot of times, I'm not talking like 12 seconds left. I'm saying, a couple minutes left in the game. They got to drive the ball up quick. He is extending plays. If his guy, he makes quick decisions. If his guys are looking too covered, he's just going to try to, get up there. And a lot of times it comes down to a field goal, and he's just positioning his kicker to be in a little bit of a better spot. So extended plays, scrambling. Now we got Aiden Hutchinson, who is free to roam. The dude doesn't even have to stick to an assigned spot when they're scheming up their defense. They just tell Aiden, go do your thing, man. We trust you, because the dude is an absolute stud. So he is going to be hunting Baker. And I think that's going to create some pressure, and we know Baker's always trying to get positive yards. If a play's not going to work, he's going to see, well, can I get a few yards on the ground? That's what he does. So I think that this is going to be the type of game. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a high scoring game. It's maybe going to come down to the wire. And I think Baker's going to go for over 20 tonight, but we just need him to hit 20 running on the ground. So the rush attempts haven't been there as much lately, but I think that this kind of pressure, it's going to be there. So if we look at some of these past quarterbacks, you had Patrick Mahomes. His line was set at 27.5, and he went for 32. Jake Browning, of all people, his line was set at 7.5. He went for 31. So the pressure is there. Joe Flacco, yeah, he's not going to really run the ball much. And then you got Lamar Jackson, who still went for 35 rushing yards, but 42.5 was his line, so he didn't hit it. And then Caleb Williams still went for 27. So it's like, I think that these situations that the Lions put quarterbacks in, they do have to try to just net some positive yards in some of these situations. And I think we got a good situation for that tonight. So going to be taking Baker over. Let's take a look at the optimizer here and see what they're thinking, because there might be something you like rather than taking the rushing yards. And I'm going to show you those options. So Baker Mayfield over 268.5 passing plus rushing yards. They like that one. 53.6% odds at the over. They've got that as his best play. If you guys want to take that, go for it. It is up in the 270s everywhere else, and you're getting it at 268.5 on Prizepicks. So they're liking that value you're getting. They like his pass yards over 248.5. They like this pass yards combo, Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield over 511.5 combined, 52.51% odds to hit the over. They're not feeling the fantasy score. Okay, well, it's just because it's more expensive on Prizepicks. It's at 19.5, but everywhere else it's at 19 or lower, 19.2, 18.6. That's what the optimizer's saying. It's like, hey, this might not be the play to take the over on because it's more expensive on here. Go play it somewhere else, or maybe take the under. I'm not taking the under. I think Baker is going to be at least in the low 20s tonight, personally. So they don't like the rush attempts, 3.5. They've got that favored to the under, 51.37% odds to hit the under, minus 124. And yeah, maybe they're right. But I just don't. Yeah, maybe he doesn't go for that, but I don't know. I think the pressure is going to be there, and I think that he's going to have some situations where it's like, what do I do here? I'm going to have to just try to get some positive yards. So I'm not taking that under. That's all I'm saying. But they like his longest rush to be over 10.5. So they're favoring the longest rush over 10.5. But they don't like the rushing yards overall. So go with your gut. If you'd rather just take the longest rush, you think he's going to get one scramble, because it's not going to be a designed run, maybe unless he's getting in the end zone. But longest rush over 10.5, they actually do like 50.6% odds to hit the over. And then the rushing yards they have favored just slightly to the under, 50.39%. And it's because a bunch of platforms have it at 18.5, and we got some 19.5s. So it's the same thing. The optimizer is just doing its job and saying, hey, this is more expensive on here, so think about it. All right, so let's move on here. Who do we got? Let's go to CJ real quick. We'll do the other quarterback rushing play. Okay, so yeah, 17.5. He started really popping off. If you take a look at the 2024 season, it was really spotty. He's still kind of finding his footing. The Texans have been dealing with injuries and having to change up what they're doing quite a bit now. But then these last two games of the season, 42 against the Chargers, 42 against the Chiefs. They were ranked middle of the road at that time, their defense was. But lately, he's been really getting it done. 4 out of his last 5 games, he's gone for at least 22. And these are against tough defenses. You got the Rams, 32 on the Rams. You got 27 on the Bucks, who are great run defense. The Jacksonville Jaguars ranked 8th. He put up 22. And then against Baltimore, which should happen because Baltimore is just absolutely collapsing before our eyes, but ranked 26th in rushing yards allowed, and he put up 30 on them. So this matchup against the Seahawks, it's tough. 3rd overall. So think about this. The Seahawks, to anybody running the ball on the season, they're holding teams to 79 rush yards. It's pretty impressive. To quarterbacks, it softens up a little bit. They're ranked 13th. They're allowing about 15.8 to any given quarterback. Something to consider. If we take a look here, Trevor Lawrence did not hit his line, but that was back on October 12th. And they're kind of just introducing the the run plays a little bit more. Their offense is still figuring things out, but I think that there's a lot of optimism there. I think they're looking good. Baker, last time he played them on October 5th, he went for 15 when his line was set at 17, so he didn't hit his. Kyler Murray crushed his line 41 when his line was at 28.5, and then Spencer Rattler, yeah, he just went for 10. His line was at 14.5. So not a whole lot of good examples to go off of because I think CJ is a better runner than he gets credit for. So I'm going to be taking it over here. Let's take a look at the optimizer real quick. Okay, they like his pass attempts over 32 as the best play, 52.73% odds to hit the over minus 129. They don't like the completions over 21. They're not feeling, okay, so their rush yards got bumped. So it's up to you guys. It's up at 18.5 now. It might go back down to 17.5 by the time you guys are seeing this. I'm still comfortable with it personally, but you guys got to make your own decision here. 51.97% odds to hit the under, minus 126. And you got BetMGM down here at 16.5, and then yeah, most everyone else is at 17.5. So go with your gut. They like his pass rush yards combo over 246.5, 51.01% odds at the over minus 121. And again, they like his longest rush. So they think he's breaking off one for at least 9.5. They like him to get at least 10 yards on one of these, 50.99% odds to hit the over. They like the rush attempts. So they're expecting him to go for at least 4 rushing attempts. They've got it at a 50.94% odds to hit the over. If you'd rather take the rush attempts, if you'd rather take any of these, I'm showing you guys the overs so you can decide, but I like the rushing yards, so I'll be taking that. Even if I was at 18.5, I think I would still take it because like we said here, the dude has been utilizing the legs regardless of his matchup. So I'm gonna be going for it. All right, so let's move on to JSN. So yeah, this is an interesting one. So I'll start by showing you guys the receiving yards because we're taking the fantasy score, full PPR on Prizepicks, so you get a little bit of everything. What this is to me is this is a tough matchup, and this is a testament to what I think JSN is. I think he's for real. I think that even in a tough matchup, he's going to do well. He's been starting to really put it all together. He's been getting into the end zone. He's been burning dudes. He's been, it's been awesome. He's too fast. He's too good of a route runner. He's got insane hands. So yeah, but if you want to take something else, there are some good options here. His receiving yards set, at least it opened at 89.5. And, yeah, he's hit that 5 of his last 6 games, five of the 6 games in 2021 or 2025. And the only game he missed, he went for 79. So he was, pretty close. One more catch would have probably got him there. Tough matchup though. 5th in receiving yards allowed. Just under 200 yards is what they're allowing overall. And then to wide receivers, a little bit softer, 11th, 138.2 average is what receivers are doing to the Texans. But we are playing at home here in a primetime game. So let's look at this note. If you guys did want the yards, but this still kind of helps. So he's exceeded 89.5 rushing yards in 4 of his last 5 games at home. So we just talked about the home field advantage. These guys ball out. And shout out Sam Darnold. That dude he's the truth, We thought maybe he was Kevin O'Connell, who makes every quarterback look pretty solid out in Minnesota, but Sam Darnold looks good. He looks like the quarterback of their future for a while now, and you love to see it. I love these bounce back, comeback stories like Baker and Sam Darnold, and it's awesome. But yeah, so 4 straight games at home, he's exceeded his yards because that connection is beautiful, and just maintaining the dominant target share, 36.4. We're at week 7, and still 36.4 target share. It's just all him, but they're still mixing in a little bit. Cooper Kupp, 20%, AJ Barner, who's been emerging, 12%. But let's see what some of these guys have done in the past. Well, we got a large sample size here. No one really on JSN, Zay Flowers, maybe you could kind of, I don't think that Zay is anywhere close to JSN, but I'm just saying as far as comparable, like the level of receiver, Zay, his line was set at 45.5 and he put up 72. So yeah, this, again, like I said at the top, this is about JSN more than the matchup. It's me saying like it's a tough matchup and I still think he's going to get it done. If we look at the touchdowns like we talked about, 2025, why aren't you loading the touchdowns? Oh, it's because of the third quarter touchdowns. No, I just want regular touchdowns. Yeah, so 3 out of his last 4 games, he's gotten in the end zone back to back. He won against Tampa Bay, one against Jacksonville, and these have been beautiful plays. This has just been, he's really been showing his dominance lately, and he's got a tough matchup here tonight. Second in touchdowns allowed to wide receivers, 0.4 are what our teams are doing to the Texans right now. Overall, they're allowing just 1.6 to any position, but I just think JSN's that good. So I'll be taking that fantasy score, and I'll wrap up the details here by showing you fantasy score. If we look at 2025, it's just been this beautiful sort of the dip before the rip. You know, he's like flowing here and then a little down game and then boom, bounces back. And I think that he's going over 17.5 personally. And then I'll just show you guys the home games where he thrives. Yeah, he's gone for 20.4 or more in every home game this year so far. We got San Francisco, New Orleans, who's kind of sneaky on defense. They're sort of figuring things out. What's crazy is the Saints don't look like the worst team in the NFL. The Jets are just like, we're taking that title. No one's taking it from us this year, and they look terrible. But yeah, put it up against the Saints, and then 27.2 against Tampa Bay. So let's check the optimizer for JSN real quick. Shout out to you guys tuning into my show. I really appreciate you guys. You guys make it a lot of fun. Okay, we got longest reception. They like him over 26.5. 52.8% odds to hit the over, minus 132. They're not feeling the receptions, and there's no way I'm taking that under. I just refuse to do it. But they're feeling like 6.5 is a little too much. They have it at a 51.03% odds to hit the under. Now that's probably because the volume, low over under. Texans don't allow a whole lot of volume from passers because they kind of, slower paced offense, working their way up. Although CJ Stroud is really capable of just getting down the field quick when he's hitting Nico. But yeah, their defense is solid. It's a lot of it can be a little bit boring because their defense is good, but I think JSN's going to get his tonight at home in prime time. So yeah, 6.5 under, I'm not taking. Okay, so dang, his fantasy score got bumped too. Dang, these are moving quick. Probably because of the freaking video getting out late too, so I apologize about that. I'm still taking him over 18. I got it locked in at 17.5, but 51.08% odds to hit the under. And this might go back down to 17.5. You never know. They like his... Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, longest reception over 27.5. So that must have just updated. Didn't we just talk about it? That's how fast this optimizer updates though. That's why it's such a killer tool. It auto updates, but they still like him over 27.5, longest reception, 50.92% odds to hit the over. And then maybe just, if you want those receiving yards, they're at 87.5, opened at 89, 50.12% odds to hit the over. Man, I'm so pumped for these games. Whew, I got another video to do after this, and we got basketball tomorrow, so it's about to get wild, guys. We're gonna be just friggin' in our apps all week long now. Okay, let's wrap it up here. Who's my last play here? Oh yeah, JMO. So Jameson Williams, I like him too. You guys take what you want from this, but I think that they know they need to get him more involved. He's too good. He's too much of a specific type of weapon, and they've got lots of them. They've got 2 killer running backs. They've got Sam Laporta, who's been resurging this year. You got St. Brown, who has been just continuing to do St. Brown type stuff, but he's been so heavily utilized. I think that they want to get JMO a little bit more involved because he's super talented too. He beat this in this last game. He went through a little bit of a dry spell here. Came out hot against Chicago, 108 yards in his last 5. And then, it hasn't been until recently. But here's what I'm really loving. Take a look at these targets and receptions. So he had 7 targets and 6 receptions in this game. He's got this matchup against Tampa Bay, which is soft. 23rd in receiving yards allowed, specifically to wide receivers, 22nd, so about 151.5. So there's room for St. Brown to get his, Laporta to get his, and for him to still get over this. Let's see who actually this one move on me too? Check the optimizer. Nope, still at the 46.5. Yeah, and optimizer loves it. 53.47% odds to hit the over. Now, there's another beautiful option here. This is the optimizer put this on my radar, but they have his reception set at 3. I think he's going to beat that. So does the optimizer. Not super juice, 50.56% odds to hit the over. But man, I mean, what am I missing here? I know that he hasn't been doing it much lately, but I think they want to get him more involved. 7 targets. I wonder what his targets are set at. I'm definitely going to be taking a reception demon of his tonight just to take a chance on it. 3.5, 4.5, maybe just make a YOLO and just crank it up if they give you like a huge multiplier for like a 5.5, 4.5. Yeah, I'll take a shot on that. Because it seems like a prime. So we got 7 targets or more in 2 out of his last 3 games. And then you've got this super high over under soft matchup. I'm liking it, guys. So that will cover it. I think that covers everybody. And we're going to go over some bonus plays, so stick around with the optimizer. If you guys do end up wanting to join, we got that fall discount right now, 75% off when you use code FALL to join our Discord. We have been putting together some wins here. Haven't really totally found our stride just yet. NBA is where we really thrive, but our boy Bobby's been getting more involved again, and he has a different way of seeing the board. He'll share these plays that I'm like, dude, that's like a really clever, slip that you put together on particularly on second half slips. It's like I like the way he thinks. I'll put it that way. And he's one of our analysts. So been putting together some wins. But yeah, let's get into some bonus plays. So code BACKDOOR. 25% off the optimizer for yourself. Let's look at what it's liking right now. Jared Goff, they like him over his fantasy score, 18.5, 58.98% odds to hit the over. Now keep in mind, play it however you want, but if you take this, you have two games tonight. So you're going to get a better value if you don't have him matched with another Lions player. So just keep that in mind because they're going to give you the correlation penalty and your multiplier won't stack up as much. But you have all these other, if you take this fantasy score and then just have that be the only Lion in this particular game. They might even do a little bit of correlation if it's same game in general. So maybe figure out how you want to do it, but play with your multiplier. Okay, this Kayemi Fairbairn. Yeah, so 6.5 kicking points over. I love this. 53.88% odds to hit the over. They changed the rules for kickers this year. You notice how all the kickers are hitting 60-yarders all the time this year? You know what they did? They used to only give them, because the kickers have a specific ball that's very similar, but it's a little bit different for kicking. And they used to give it to them. I want to say, I'm probably going to get this wrong, but it's basically this in a nutshell. They used to give it the kickers the ball like an hour before game time, or like maybe 2 hours, something like that. And they changed it to where they get all these different balls that they can kick with. They get them the day of. So it's like they extended the amount of time that the team has the kicking balls before the games. And it gives them more time to really work the ball in, because the more worked in these new balls are, they pause. The more worked in they are, the further distance they go. So that's the change. So guys, let's pay attention to kickers, because stuff like this we can capitalize on. And Fairbairn is awesome, and they actually rely on him quite a bit. Their offense is still figuring things out. So yeah, I love this. 6.5 kicking points. I'm all over it. 53.88% odds to hit the over. Woody Marks rush attempts. They like him over 8.5. We got Jake Bates over 6.5 kicking points. Once again, Jahmyr Gibbs, they like him over 23.5 receiving yards. Baker Mayfield, there's those pass rush yards combo. Alex Anzalone, they like him over 7 tackles plus assists, 53.47% odds to hit the over. There's JMO, the receiving yards we're taking. We got Jahmyr Gibbs under 13.5 rush attempts. Mike Evans over 4.5 receptions. This one's really compelling to me because Evans is questionable, but they're saying that he's probably going to play. And then you got Emeka Egbuka, who is also questionable with a chance to play. If Igbuka ends up getting ruled out, this is going to bump up. And I think that because of the hamstring issue that they're both kind of dealing with, they've got this line set pretty low because if he plays, I think he's getting 5 receptions. What do you guys think? 53.45% odds to hit the over. Plus, they got a lot of work to do if they're going to get their boy Evans over 1,000 yards on the season, because he once again has missed some games, and we saw what they did last year. They intentionally just were like, okay, we got this game in the bag, but I think that they had the game in the bag, and they're just like, let's give him a couple more targets, let's run him out there just because we want to get him over 1,000 yards, because he's never missed 1,000 yards in his career. So he's got some making up to do, and they could use him, even though they're continuing to win. So Rachaad White, they like him over 3.5 receptions. I like this too, because they're projected to be behind, according to the spread, and he's a great pass catcher. And they're somewhat limited with their receivers right now. So 3.5 sounds great to me. 53.43% odds to hit the over. Montgomery rushing, receiving touchdown. They like him to get in the end zone. Charbonnet, they like him under 11.5. It's risky, but they've got it 53.22% odds to hit the under. I mean, like, Charbonnet's been like kind of barely hitting that line because the dude, I hate to say it, but Charbonnet has been playing so bad. I hate to say it because I have him in Dynasty, but he's just been barely hitting 12. Now we got a low over under, and like we said, the volume of these games that the Texans are in tends to be a little bit lower. So go with your gut if you want to take that. I just don't really like unders for NFL personally. They don't think Rachaad White's getting in the end zone. We got St. Brown over 7 receptions, 52.88% odds to hit the over. Cooper Kupp under 4 receptions. Again, not my cup of tea. Baker Mayfield over his passing yards, 248.5, 52.68% odds to hit the over, -129. And then we'll end it here with this Will Anderson Jr. They like him to get at least 1 sack in this game, 52.67% odds to hit the over, -135. That's going to do it, guys. Go check out the J Russo BDFS channel. It's linked below. I'm running 2 channels. Didn't mean for it to be this way, but that's the situation I'm in. So I'm trying to keep them both active. So I'm going to go put out some more plays over there in just a minute. Make sure you go subscribe to that one as well. Because I typically, if you guys like getting into YOLOs, I've just been sort of, if I'm making demon plays, I'll put them up over there. But today I'm going to just put 4 extra plays, regular plays, because it's a smaller slate, just 2 games. But appreciate you guys. Enjoy this doubleheader. Thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you in the next one.